How's everybody doing? I see a lot of you in chat already. First of all, let's start with the resubs. Ooh, look at that, just as I was speaking. So let's start with Red Hawk's resub first. He says, currently lubing holy chickies with Anthony's most favorite lube. Oh man, Bad Dragon lube? Nice. And Deadwing Dick also with the resub, so we've got 2 6 months in a row. And we had Deagle with 3 months in a row. So we've got 6 months, 3 months. Both of those combined can't even compete with Thick Boy over here with 10 months. Who says he is subbed to a retard. Pepe Hands. At least I don't speak in Twitch emotes. Kappa. Okay, so also Deagle, yeah, thank you so much for the tier 1 resub. A Purple as well, 7 months in a row, not negative. Holy shit, you guys won't let me get started with the intro. All these resubs, thank you so much. Because we got 7, we got 6, we've got 3, we've got 10 months. Yep, not negative with the lol, that's it. And Purple with the hey, hey, hey. Okay, so lots of people here. Say hi to everybody. So we've got Rope, Cerazol, NGB 200 bits. Thank you, thank you. Deadwing Dick is here too. Mr. Keeps. So of course Deagle came in with that resub. The true lazy fart. I love you. With the gift sub from Red Hawk. Perfect timing. 24 gift subs now. And so yeah, so Red Hawk with the gift sub. He also came in with the 10-month. No, he with the 24th gift sub and the 6-month resub 6, yeah. And don't forget that he is also the number 1 top all-time cheerer. Okay, who else is here? Back 540. Hello, Koba Koba. I think I said NGB, of course, with the cheer just now. Mouse is fine. Speaking of Mouse is fine, he just got. Oh man, everyone I'm saying hi to is getting a gift sub. Mr. Keeps this time. With the gift sub, 12 gift subs. Also, we'll put Mr. Keeps' link in when we hit 35 viewers. We'll do that. We have 30 right now. I want to wait for more people, and then we'll drop that spicy link. Purple is here. How's it going? And let's see who else is here. Thick Boy, of course. CLD SKT Zoology. Brian. NGB says he's currently studying. Damn, do you have a test next week? Kevin Plus made it. Panna Water is also here. 4 months in a row. Thank you so much. Trashorama, hello. How are you doing today? VPR as well. Sleepsin, good evening. Sleepsin, I don't know if you saw my email. Both your boards arrived already. I haven't unboxed them yet. We'll do that on Monday. Okay, let's see. Who else have I not said hi to? And yes, this is God's number 1. Okay, who am I missing? Yeah, it is a sub-train. A subscriber centipede, if you will. Probably be called the number 2. Yeah. Clearly, quality control wasn't the number 1 concern. It's alright, not negative. Wait, you can't give sub? That's kind of strange. Devin says, I like your sweater. Thanks! It actually just came in today. I don't know if I like it. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I like this color. So it looked okay in pictures. I needed a sweater. Because it sucks when you're trying to sleep and you have a hoodie and all you have are just hooded jackets, and it's really difficult to sleep with a fucking hoodie just under your neck or your head or whatever. Also, what was I saying? Yeah, so I got this in, but the thing that I don't really like about this thing, it looks like I'm fucking wearing chainmail or some shit. Look at that. Alright, all I need is a nice little helmet, maybe a lance, and a horse. Yeah. Look at that. Okay, so what were we saying? So yeah, so thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it yet. We'll see. Maybe I should get another color. Cause yeah, I can't unsee the chainmail. It's like instead of Mad Lads, it's Medieval Lads. Okay, so let's look at this. So Devin Dick says Anthony's gonna unbox his Keycult #1. Black and silver, yeah, so we'll see that. Is it cold in the US yet? So some places are getting cold. Like over here in the past week, it actually dipped down to below 10 degrees Celsius. And it actually got so cold, I wanted to switch on the heater for the first time ever since moving in. I turned it on. And then I smelled something funny. And I thought, oh shit, is it my humidifier? Did I leave it on for too long? So I turned that off, and there was still the smoke smell. And then so less than 30 seconds after I turned on the heating, the smoke alarm went off. And I freaked out. I was like, what the fuck? And so I turned it off, and I haven't turned it back on since. So I have no idea. Let's just hope that the winter won't get too cold. I should probably talk to the apartment management about it, but we'll see. I also need them to replace one of the lights in the kitchen anyway, so maybe they can look at it. But yeah, so something's burning up there. Devin Dick says, so God getting some sort of refund? I don't know. He just said, I told him that honestly I think he should just return it, but he's like, nah, fuck it. He said, he's kind of tired of waiting and dealing with all this customer support stuff with group buys and all that shit. So, because his singer didn't arrive perfect as well. First of all, he already got cucked by the colors, and then now it didn't arrive perfect. So he's just kind of tired of it all. So he's just like, you know what? As long as it's usable, fuck it. And yeah, it is kind of comfortable. Maybe I should go to bed in it tonight. Chainmail is so in. Okay, so we've got 38 viewers now. Let's go ahead and drop the link for our friend Mr. Keebs. If you haven't already, definitely check out his Twitch channel. He does unboxings, builds, reviews, and he's been working on some of his own designs recently, so definitely check him out. Cooler weather will help your breathing problem. So usually my breathing problem actually happens when it starts getting colder because the air gets drier. And so I bought a humidifier, another humidifier recently. I had one, and I bought another one so that I can have one in the office over here, the streaming station, and one out in the living room. But I'm gonna have to return the new one because it whines like a bitch. And yeah, it's super loud. If I turn it on outside in the living room, I can hear it here. Violet Viceroy, hey, how's it going? Okay, hopefully I didn't miss anyone else. But yeah, so today it got warmer a bit. Right now it is almost 20 degrees Celsius in the... Well, no, it's going to be 20 degrees Celsius tomorrow, I think. And VPR says that's normal. It's just burning the dust that settles on the coils. It'll go away after a few minutes. Okay, so maybe I'll try again someday. But maybe I'll do it after I've built all the expensive keyboards and shipped them out. And then I'll try turning it on. I don't want to burn anything down, but yeah. Gotta be safe. Just like what Talisman Solution says. Devin Dick says, fuck, I'm probably gonna have the same reaction. Yeah, it's kind of a defeatist. You know, it's like, you know what? I just want something to use. That's it. Fezus also says, I just bought my first Tada 68 kit from KBD Fans, coming in on Monday. I'm so excited. Which case did you get? Did you get the one with the brass weight? It's not the humidifier, it's my ex. That explains. She does squirt pretty well though. The low profile case, okay. Hope it was cheap. Let's see. Okay. No, but in my experience, I don't like low profile cases. I don't think they sound good. But if you like the look, I don't think they look good either. But if you like the look, then go ahead. Oh, I know the whining like a bitch part. I know, and then now I'm saying that she squirts, but never mind. Okay, so Keycult number 1 today, and hopefully that intro was enough. So yeah, Keycult number 1 today. In case you're wondering, it is supposed to be gray and purple. I know some people have said that it looks like it's gray and green. So the gray is definitely a greenish gray, and the purple is a grayish purple. A very dull purple, I'd say. But if this part doesn't look purple to you, either you should probably check for color blindness or your display is not calibrated properly. Because I'm looking at, see, even this display is not calibrated, but this one is. So I'm gonna move it here. Looks purple to me over here. So if it doesn't appear purple to you, definitely calibrate your display or go check your eyes or some shit. But yes, it does look very gray, but I definitely see the purple. I don't know why some people say they don't see any of the purple at all. But the gray also has a very greenish hue. Now we've gone over all this. You can check out the unboxing on my YouTube channel. It should be there. And so yeah, so colors. The greenish gray, actually, I kinda like, but just because I like how it turned out doesn't mean other people will. And if you weren't expecting this, then yeah, you will be disappointed. And again, overall, the unboxing for this one, kind of disappointing, right? A lot of anodizing problems, but I'm building this for God, and he says, let's just keep it, so we'll do that. Yeah, so Keycult number 1, we'll take a quick look before we go in and start with the build. There you go. Again, if you want to know more, check out I've done, one unboxing and then the initial release as well. So yeah, kind of a mess of a, I don't know what you would call it. I don't even call it a group buy, but yes, so hopefully you know what you're getting into. If you still want to buy one, be very careful. Hey look, God is here. Whitey Foo, welcome to the stream. Zim is also here. How are you doing? So it's good to see my friend Zim here. He says, first time I can catch a stream in a long time. Yes. Okay. And so the keycaps that we're going to use are these OG cherry die subs. And we are using lubed vintage black switches for the build. And oh, why did I put it away? I needed the plate, so I had to take it apart. Okay, so let's do that right now. Disassemble this thing. Visa says I got box white switches. So just be aware that box white switches still damage keycaps, just like Red Hawk says. So definitely don't use anything expensive on them. Just be aware of it. And yeah, so just like COD SKT says, yeah, the purple is there, but yeah, at first glance it looks gray. Especially because the surrounding looks kind of gray, but it looks more like a green. So you're just like, the color's just fucked up. TG is here too, hey. And Gawk is also here. Look at him. I don't know if you guys saw, but he shared a picture of his new speakers today in the audio channel on the server, on the Discord server. And man, they look so fucking good. Hopefully the white matches the chewy white. But yeah, he's... So you'll know Gawk as the guy behind the Android PBT Black on White. And he is also working on another one called the Kuro, which will use a slightly warmer shade of white. And it'll have Japanese sub-legends. And a Japanese modifier kit too. Pretty cool stuff. So he's trying to match that with a white Chiwi, which is a keyboard that he designed himself. And so it might be really cool having the white caps on the white Chibi with the white speakers. Man, it's gonna be nice. Now he just needs a white girlfriend. Sleepson says, wait, what? Do the new Navy switches do damage caps? Yes. Sleepson, if you are planning to use the new Navy switches, I would not put GMK Dolch. I would not put any GMK on even the new box switches. Oh, Titty. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? SA caps should be, if you're using not max key SA, if you're using Signature Plastics SA, they should be okay with box switches in my experience. Cause but if you're if an SA set is worth a lot to you, then I still wouldn't do it. But in my experience, it's okay because SA keycaps, Signature Plastics SA keycaps, come quite a bit looser in the stem compared to standard Cherry. Gawk's Discord's KBD fans. Okay, so let's set this aside. Whitey Foo says, I just sprung for my first GMK set and I would be so fucking pissed if some switches broke them. Yeah, so like I said, GMK Honeywell, if I try to sell that off, they'd be worth a lot. But yeah, I can't do that because I'm very sure at least some of the caps are cracked already. Because I definitely, the last time I put the keycaps on the board, I remember them being loose. And so I'm just going to leave the GMK Honeywell on that board with box whites for now. I'm just not even gonna touch it. Beyond saving. Gok says also the topper caps are really rough. The thing is, aren't the That is that's the thing is Gok so you mentioned that their legends are a bit smaller and the caps are rougher. That's basically what Topra caps are like anyway. So if you get, you know, a Leopold FC 980C, I remember the PBT caps being quite a bit textured, and yeah, the legends are definitely smaller than Cherry. I mean, I like that. I personally, it's why you don't see me trying to go for OG die subs, because even though they sound very nice, I don't like how they feel. They feel very wet, very slippery. I don't like that. I like that almost chafing, going in dry kind of feel. It's a bit more exciting. It's all wet, you just don't feel anything, right? Okay, so let's set these aside. Let's go ahead and start with the stabilizers. Now, you'll remember that, so we haven't built a board for God in quite some time. And you remember that he is one of the few deviants that does not like the Band-Aid mod. He prefers the harsh sound, the sharp sound of the stabilizers. So we're not going to do the Band-Aid mod for this one. Just going to go ahead with the stabilizers. It's easier for me, right? Okay, and we need a 7U spacebar. Let's grab the 7U. Need the screws as well. So you'll see I have all the parts separated already. Handerbait is the GOAT. GMK lost the bet. Hand our belt over, because somebody deserves a whooping for that design. Not negative says that's why I sold my OG die subs. They are super slippery. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, someone's like, oh yeah, but it feels silky smooth. I'm like, fuck off, man. If I want silky smooth, I've got other smooth things, but you know, I like some texture for my tactile pleasure. Okay, I'm just trying to see if this spacebar wire is straight. There's actually a quicker way to find out if it's straight. Just ask it if it likes sucking dick. Anyway, so 7U spacebar. We need 4 2U stabilizers actually. Gok says, and regarding the legends, they're meant to be the same size as EPBT. Well, they accidentally went the Topra route, so you can't. But yeah, but if they were trying to do that and it ended up not going with what they had in mind, then yeah, that definitely sucks. But it's just hilarious that they unintentionally ended up becoming more similar to actual Topra caps. If you want smooth, use a touchscreen. Gok says, I think there's a middle ground between texture and smoothness. The MPKC caps are too rough for me. I actually like how rough the MPKC caps are. The thing is though, they are hard to clean because they will trap grime more easily. So if you are a Cheeto on the desk kind of guy, then you have to watch out. So the SKT, the amount of stabs, yeah. So lots and lots of stabilizers. Look at that. This is just 7. This is just the 7U spacebar wires. Look at how many I have. That's just 7. I still have I have 6U. I have 6.25. I need to buy more 6.25s. And these stabilizers are clipped already. You'll see these 2 feet have been cut off. So they usually come in 4 feet. You will see 2 of them been cut off. KB Warriors, hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. The True Lazy Fart says, is it just me or are the Dev Titty caps tight as fuck? I don't know. I have not seen them in person. Is Dev Titty pronounced Dev Titty? Well, yeah. Is GIF pronounced GIF? Okay, so we got the stabilizer, and then now let's start the lubing. No, it's deaf, not deaf, not. It's like the perfect name for a metal band. Deaf Titties. Okay, so first of all, you want to lube your stabilizer wires. Now, you don't have to lube anything else on the stabilizer. This is all you need to lube. Just these parts on the stabilizer wire. Now, don't lube the plastic parts. That's not necessary because when you lube your stabilizers to get rid of rattle, not to make them feel smoother or anything like that. So this is all you need to do. Get dielectric grease, which is this stuff. You can buy it on Amazon or at your local auto parts store. They usually will have something like that. And you lube this part, so the bent end and the inside bend, so over here. See, so just a nice coat all around. And so when you put it into the stabilizer housing, you will see that we are just lubing the parts where the metal touches the plastic. And so what the thick dielectric grease does is it fills out the gap between the plastic and metal parts, which will prevent them from rattling when they move around. So, yeah, so just do that for all your stabilizers. Key Warrior says, tried XDA blanks on MX Blues, had to push that one real hard. Try to take them off and pull the tops right off. I don't think I've had that problem with XDA caps. But yeah, some keycaps are definitely tighter than others. As long as you don't break anything though, it should be okay. Yeah, definitely be careful if the keycaps are tight. You want to wiggle a lot more when you're pulling them off before you try to yank them out. Yeah, I think the last time I pulled the stem straight out the top was a long ass time ago. Thesis, what we're saying is that even the remade box switches, doesn't matter where you buy them from, still damage keycaps, because the newer specs that they use are still are bigger than the standard cherry spec. Yeah, it wasn't just some isolated case where the new box switches are damaging caps. It's actually a growing number of people who come forward. It's the Me Too movement of the keyboard world. Who says lubing the stabs make such a huge difference? Yes, it absolutely does. I think that it's definitely it's definitely the best way you can make a any keyboard feel better. And honestly, it doesn't even take that much time to do. True Lazy Fart says, Anthony, your shirt is confusing my eyes. I hope it is also confusing your sexuality. G-Type TV says he's using the Band-Aid tech on this one, Anthony. So I just mentioned it a few minutes ago that this is one of the few boards that we're not going to do the Band-Aid mod on because God actually actually prefers it without the Band-Aid mod. Most people prefer it with, but he doesn't. And so we will go without it, which of course makes my life a little bit easier. Afleo, good to see you here. How's it going? I'm hoping to stream your M65 build next week. I'll let you know. Let me know if next Friday doesn't work for you though. But next week's gonna be kind of busy for me as well. This weekend too. That's why I don't even know if I can go to the meetup tomorrow. Yeah. These 2 weeks, midterms, fun stuff. And I just have a lot of keyboards to build. Rugar, hey! Nice seeing you here. It's been a while, my friend. G8333E, how's it going? Tasman Solution says when you get all those keyboards built, you'll have more money to buy a humidifier for every room. Well, I mean, there's just 2 rooms. But I do have to save money. My younger brother's wedding's coming up in a couple months. And so I can't afford to fly to California for his wedding. But my family still plans on giving him some money for the wedding and the honeymoon. So gotta save money, unfortunately. But at least he's kind of got some stuff figured out. So unlike most other people who would spend pretty much all their savings on the wedding and then rely on the wedding to get stuff for the house, appliances and maybe some furniture as well for the house. So at least they did move into an apartment already, so they got that shit figured out. They pretty much have it furnished completely now. And so basically all they have to worry about now is the wedding and the honeymoon, so that's good. At least they got the priorities straight. They don't have to worry about, oh shit, if we spend too much here, we can't afford a bed. Although that might sound normal to, you know, a lot of you, but in Texas, at least in Abilene for sure, most people don't do the whole, you know, live together first and then get married. They just, you know, at the age of 20, 21, 18, 19. Because premarital sex is bad, so they get married young so they can fuck. And, you know, so they spend pretty much all they have, because they're still in college, on the wedding, and then after that, move to an apartment, and then you have to rely on everyone else for, you know, to furnish the place and stuff. It's kind of funny. So my younger brother is actually getting married in California so that he'd feel so, because he has, you know, he and his fiance have so many friends, and he doesn't want a big wedding, and he doesn't, you know, a lot of them are people he doesn't even want to see at the wedding. So he's trying to have it far, far away so that he doesn't feel obligated to invite them all. And also because her relatives are kind of only mildly racist, let's put it that way. You gotta test drive the car before you buy it. Yeah. It's like pre-ordering an EA game. All that money just to nut. Crippled, hey, how's it going? NGB says, just finished studying, gotta go get some wings. Nice. Where are you gonna go? Wingstop? Buffalo Wild Wings? Pluckers? Red Bull? NGB says, Mark's Pizza, local place, hidden gem. Nice. Yeah, I wish there were more local places around here. It's just not very popular in most of Texas, unfortunately. Lots of fucking chain restaurants. Cripple says, do you think KBD fans will have a Black Friday sale? Yes, 100%. They did that last year. I'm sure they'll do it again. Helpful Human, how's it going? And for the sale, it should be similar to what they usually do. So, you know, the most recent one where they had the, I think, is it $8 off $100 and then 10 off 150, something like that. So you can expect pretty much the same. Okay, so we've lubed the stabilizers. Now let's put them in and then we will try them out. Chewy, how's it going? Cavino's in Plano is a hidden gem pizza place. Nice. What kind of pizza though? The thing is, the unfortunate truth is, most of the places people say are good pizza places here in, you know, DFW, in Dallas, Abilene and everything, I don't like. And don't even get me started on that fucking double dope pizza that I had in Arkansas. Jesus Christ. She says New York style, pretty basic but solid quality. Don't tell me it's just fucking pepperoni and cheese. I will throw a fit. It's like the most overrated junk. What we need are Neapolitan style pizzas. Now that's the good shit. Oh, some salt too. Maybe some pepper. Oh man, I do like my food spicy. You know, I really eat spicy. I love spicy food. You know, I put hot sauce on all my food. Oh. But yeah, so hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's actually good. I've never been there, so I wouldn't know. But you know, it's so bad that, for example, my younger brother absolutely hates pizza now. Like he's gotten so, you know, he used to love eating pizza and burgers and stuff like that, but he's gotten so disillusioned by the constant disappointment that he's pretty much, you know, vowed to just not eat pizza and burgers anymore. So even when we do go to a place, you know, he just won't eat. He'll just skip the meal and then go home and just make some instant noodles or something. He's a bit more hardcore than I am. Violet Viceroy says, New York style is the best. Don't mess with the classics, but only in New York City. People eating Domino's saying New York style is terrible. Or Papa John's, right? Don't forget that 40% off. The 3/5 compromise. But this week I did have some pretty good pizza, I will say. The deli that I usually go to for sandwiches and sweet tea, well, nowadays it's mostly unsweet tea. But they, you know, I usually get shepherd's pie from there as well, which is pretty good. And so I tried some of their, not frozen, but their, what would you call those, refrigerated? Pre-made basically. So, but it's made, you know, in-house, in-store, whatever. And so it's the, oh, I threw them away already, but pretty good. And Yeah, so very thin crust. Kind of Neapolitan style. It's just nice, fresh. Oh, so good. You don't feel like a pig after eating it. You actually feel like you had a pretty nice balanced meal. I like that. But yes, Gok Neapolitan is the actual classic. You should, if you. I don't know if God is still here in chat, but I think probably not. He's probably gone to bed already. But he is a huge fan of Italian food. G-Type TV says bubble tea, Kyrgasm. I should go get some. I did have some last weekend. Did I have any this week? Don't think so. No. Okay, so for the space bar, I'll have to look for the switch. The space bar uses a very, very slightly heavier spring. So I'm trying to look for it. It has a gray stem instead. Where the hell is it? There we go. And it has a PCB mount bottom as well. Whereas all these other ones just have the typical vintage black plate mount, vintage black bottom. We're doing a stepped caps lock. Moses Fine says, Anthony, in exchange for a dank meme, would you build me a plateless DZ60? I would not recommend a plateless DZ60, so I've tried it before. I actually desoldered it already, so I can't even show you. But if you want to go plateless, get a PCB that supports less layouts. Hey, look, God is still here. So, yeah, Gok was talking about Neapolitan pizza being the classic instead of New York style pizza. And I mentioned that you have a penchant for Italian food and Italian culture. Panda Water says, is bubble tea actually called Boba in the land of the free? Yes, it is called. Most people refer to it as Boba here, but the common misconception actually is that apparently, according to the actual etymology of Boba, it doesn't refer to the tapioca balls. It's actually never. Boba is not supposed to refer to that. Boba actually. Bubble tea, the bubble in boba tea. Okay, yeah, not so much boba, but the bubble. When people say, like, oh, do you want bubbles in the tea? Actually, the bubble refers to, I think, the bubbles that form. So kind of like the foam and the bubbles when you make the tea, the milk tea. So apparently that's, the bubbles actually refer to that and not the tapioca balls. In Taiwan and China and most of Asia, where it's more of a, where they speak Chinese, we actually, in Chinese it's called 珍珠奶茶, which is pearl milk tea. And so the tapioca balls, we call them pearls instead of bubbles or anything like that. Man, that episode of Ugly Delicious about pizza, that's some hardcore shit right there. I don't know if I will enjoy Chicago style pizza. I have not had it, so I can't provide much comment. Yes, Ugly Delicious is really good. Yeah, it's probably my favorite show on Netflix, actually, then I think about it. To be fair, I haven't watched a lot, but yeah, it is really good. I'm not even the type that cries at movies or anything like that. Books. When people cry reading books, that's just kind of baffling to me. I get it, but it's just not something I can do. Like, oh, and then Jesus died. Nothing comes out. It's, all right. Next verse. Moses Fine says, every club at my school sells $2 bobas to fundraise, so I get a taro every fucking day. I'm gonna be such a fucking round boy soon. That's what happened to me pretty much. And Gakia, I think it is the powdered stuff instead of the actual taro. The actual taro, the actual yam, very gray. It's way more gray than purple, kind of like this. And yeah, they would actually put it in drinks, and so you can feel it's got a very, it does have a powdery texture. It's not the powdered stuff, but yeah, it maybe not powdery texture. What am I trying to say? It's like mashed potatoes, maybe? I don't know. Well, no, not mashed potatoes. Sweet potato? Yeah, I had a bowl of douhua, or what some places here might call tofu pudding, with taro or yam in it. That was so fucking strange. And mostly because for me, taro is more of a savory thing instead of a dessert thing. So when I just see the dessert, it's kind of weirds me out. Yam rice or taro rice, holy shit, so fucking good. Cerizo says, a one layout plate's hard to come by for 60% boards. Yes, you'll probably have to find someone to make one for you though. Shouldn't be too difficult, I'd say. And Striker, I think you had the resub, right? I'm so sorry I missed it. I didn't miss it. I was talking about something else. But 9 months in a row. Thank you so much, Striker. Just joined Dan's game. It's good to see you. I think you've been here 2 streams in a row now. Pretty cool. Good to have you back. God says, I like our pizza dough. However, objectively, pasta is done far worse everywhere else other than certain places in Italy. And says, man, I wish I could take you to this Chicago-style pizza place in San Francisco. See, yeah, I've just never had it. I've just never had Chicago-style pizza. And I don't want to try it in Texas. Right? It's ruined enough American things for me. I don't want to try it here. I'll wait for the, something that's closer to the real stuff. Ryan says, I wish Dave Chang made more podcasts with other chefs. Yeah, and it's kind of cool seeing him kind of lose that whole snobbery, that food snobbery kind of thing. Some actually have compared him to Anthony Bourdain. Bourdain started out kind of, being very critical and very elitist with food, and then eventually kind of just realized, oh, you can enjoy food, you can have good food without it being, perfect in every single way, and in terms of technique and the presentation, all these things. And then so yeah, Dave Chang kind of does the same with Ugly Delicious, where it's about how food affects culture and how culture in turn affects the food. And yeah, so watching it, so I was saying, yeah, I'm usually not the type to cry at movies or TV shows, but watching it, man, I can remember 2 moments where I almost teared up or actually teared up. It's just, oh, so good. That show is really good. One of them was actually during the barbecue episode. They were saying that Texas is one of the places known for barbecue, and I was just weeping in disbelief. I'm just kidding now. It was actually, it's barbecue, right? No, actually it wasn't barbecue. Sorry, it was about chicken, I think. Birds, wings, and stuff like that. And so, I don't think that was the episode of barbecue. Maybe it was. Was this anything over a grill? I can't even remember. But it was when they visited this restaurant, or whatever you would call it, in Japan, where they cooked these birds. I can't remember what kind of birds. It wasn't chicken though. And David Chang was really impressed, and you could tell he was sincerely impressed. He wasn't just like, yeah, everything's good, everything's amazing. He really, really liked it, and he said that, he had to give the chef a hug. And the chef is like a quintessential Japanese, middle-age, kind of close to middle-age guy, very stoic, almost emotionless, awkward when presented with compliments. And so, David Chang was telling him, oh, this is good. He shook his hand first, and he's like, oh, this is good. And then, the Japanese chef just kind of nods his head, and then you could tell David Chang's like, no, this isn't, I'm not trying to bullshit you. I'm not just saying it's good just for a show. And he goes in and says, no, I have to give you a hug. I want you to really know that, it's really good. And you can see just kind of the odd juxtaposition would be the word, right? Dave Chang, very passionate man. No, it sounds kind of gay. Very vocal, in his appreciation and criticism of anything. And then this very stoic Japanese guy who's just kind of shy and very quiet, doesn't know English, or at least doesn't know it well enough. And yeah, it was just kind of reminds me of, myself and most of the people I know, where you get compliments, you just kind of, what do I do now? And, so I could definitely feel the homoerotic love. No. The cultures coming together. And another one was when they were talking about Thanksgiving and Korean food, I believe. And so it was David Chang's family, his mom and other people making, Thanksgiving dinner. And then he's talking about how, for him, the way he knows that his mom, growing up, the way he knows his mom loves him is just by, how she spends so much time cooking for him, and, that's kind of the mom's way, because, typical Asian family, no hugs, no compliments, no praise, nothing like that. And, it mentioned that, and then, yeah, made me think of, my own family, my own mom, and, grew up pretty much the same way. The way we know that our mom cared for us was just, the way she would cook for us. When she would go out to buy us food, she would remember everyone's preferences. For example, I hate bean sprouts. Even though, you know, almost every noodle dish in Malaysia would have bean sprouts. I fucking hate bean sprouts. And so she remember, you know, not to have bean sprouts on mine. Maybe one of my younger siblings didn't like spicy food, so she would tell them, you know, no, okay, no, not spicy in this one, and stuff like that. And so, you know, so if she went out and got fried noodles, you know, all 5 orders would be a bit different. Whereas with my dad, it's kind of like, you know, 5 fried rice, fuck it. You know, if you don't like it, just don't eat it. You know, that was my dad's way of dealing with us. You could tell who didn't really want it, who didn't really want the kids. Dick says, I think people make too big a deal of deep dish pizza. Striker says, sounds overhyped to me at times. But Red Hawk says, don't you shit talk deep dish. Cripple says, I ate taro cheesecake. I'm sorry, I'm 8 minutes behind chat now. I need to... Well, I was going off on something. But okay, so Cripple says, I ate taro cheesecake. It was dope. Homemade. I loved it. But what I find in mass-produced taro stuff is it can end up tasting burnt. And from what I've read, it's easy to over-prepare taro, which would give the burnt taste. Yeah, it is definitely a very soft material to cook with. Levi says, I think I'd take a good bubble tea over a milkshake. Oh, I definitely would. He says, especially the kind with bubbles and grass jelly. Man, grass jelly? Okay, grass jelly. The stream is probably not going to be long enough for me to give a full-length rant on the state of grass jelly in America. So, maybe your place does it a bit differently, but so far, pretty much everywhere here in Dallas fucks up grass jelly. Jesus, almost everywhere. Okay, see, if you Google it, people just... Oh, I need to look up the actual name. So, okay. Let me see if I can find a picture of what grass jelly is supposed to look like. Is this a good picture? Especially in a drink. Okay, maybe this picture. Hold on. Okay. So look at this. I think this is grass jelly in soy milk. Oh no, it's in white coffee. And so, okay, Viceroy just give us a picture of grass jelly. Yeah, see, that's fucked up. That's them being lazy. So, hey, Hammer Brother, with the Happy Friday, he says, hello, haro, or taro, since we're talking about that. I love grass jelly. But yeah, so, grass jelly is supposed to be cut in a ways that when you can drink it through a straw. That's the whole point. And the way that we would do it, if you look at the picture I linked, it's cut up into kind of like tiny strands of grass. So that you don't even need a fat straw to drink it. You can just use a regular straw, and then it's just kind of inch-long strands of grass jelly. And so, you know, back home, it'll pretty much always be served like that. And another way to do it is you can cut it into blocks, but those blocks should still be around the size of, if it's in a drink, it should still be around the size of, you know, the bubbles, the boba, the pearls tapioca balls, so that you could actually fit it through the straw. Instead, over here, they just, because it comes in blocks, they take it out of the can in a block, and then they just kind of cut it a few times, and that's it. When what they're actually supposed to do, they're supposed to fucking go crazy with it. They're supposed to mince that shit. Well, mince is not the right word, but yeah, you're supposed to do way more work with it. Instead, they're just kind of lazy, and so they just throw big chunks of it into your drink. And it's like, how the fuck are you even supposed to eat it? So you have to fucking hack it with your straw, and then suck it up? That's just dumb. But yeah, it's why I never get grass jelly when I get boba over here, because the few times I have, it's just been a fucking disappointment. VPR says, do you like grass jelly? I can never acquire the taste for it. There's not really a taste though, right? It just depends on what they soak that shit in. But yeah, I actually just had pizza for dinner. I had a... Fuck. What are those called? When it's sun-dried pizza? Sun-dried tomatoes on pizza. Margarita? The True Lazy Fire says, how long have you been living in the US? 6 years now, actually. Ryan says, well, Dave Chang is an Asian elitist, though, in my opinion. Yes. I still strongly disagree with him when it comes to Asian food. He likes Northern Chinese food. Fuck that crap. I'm sorry if you like Northern Chinese food, but I don't think it's the epitome of Chinese food. I don't think that it does a great job at representing Chinese food. It does an okay job. Just one, but it definitely isn't the best. Violet Viceroy says, I think that a lot of US foods are pretty mediocre outside the region they come from. Barbecue in Texas. Whoa, don't say that. Okay. He says, okay, Texas, the South, and some parts of the Midwest better than barbecue anywhere else. Hey, when people come to NYC, eat the inferior barbecue, then complain about US cooking. Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. Because I know that I'm in a spot where barbecue is supposed to be the thing. I don't like American barbecue. I don't like Southern barbecue. So, doesn't do anything for me, unfortunately. All right, see you, Brian. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm a bit late with chat. God says there's a place in San Mateo that serves the grass jelly just like that. Wait, you mean they actually cut it up, God? So they actually serve it like grass? Chokan. Chokan is here. Okay, we've got 50 people here. Chokan is here. Don't forget to head on over to his YouTube channel. Send him some love. In whatever form you may please. Whether it be a subscription, whether it be a tribute. Definitely check him out on YouTube. He makes the most fun YouTube videos, you know, related to keyboards. Everybody says Canada is legal now. Yes, so we're talking about grass jelly and smoking grass, and yes, it is legal now. That's good. So, hey brother, are your Fridays about to be happier? That is my question. God says, okay, hold on. Ashar Dalon is here. Welcome to the stream. He says, I think food is an excellent cultural bridge. God. It can help people get interested in learning more about another culture, and if anything, it can just broaden their palate to try more food outside the comfort zone. And God says, I also think it naturally helps people show some more appreciation towards a culture and a populace people may otherwise be uninterested in. Because God says, I really do buy into food being that cultural bridge for anyone, regardless of potential prejudices. Yeah, I mean, that's how we do it in Malaysia, though. That's how all three races can get along. Mostly through our love for food. We, you know, have very different cultures, very different religions most of the time. Very different beliefs. Some of us don't eat pork. Some of us don't eat beef. Some of us don't eat meat. Some of us don't give a shit and eat everything. And we get along fine. Because we all love food. And, you know, pretty much every social event revolves around food. Serial orgasm. Okay, Violet Viceroy, Holy Folk, and her brother asked what is Northern Chinese food. Holy Folk asked what is the best Chinese dish in your opinion. I don't think there's a best Chinese dish. I have dishes that are my favorite to eat at home or cook. But, you know, I wouldn't call them the best Chinese dish or whatever like that. But... And yeah, so Northern Chinese food is... If you are familiar with Northern Indian food versus Southern Indian food, it would kind of be like that. With Northern Chinese food, it's typically drier, less variety in the flavors and ingredients. So Northern Chinese food would be kind of like mala. The you know, Sichuan food. If you see Sichuan food, that's pretty much Northern Chinese food. And Southern Chinese food, when you think Southern Chinese food, usually you would think Cantonese kind of family style, you know, with rice dishes and stuff like that. That would be a more Southern Chinese. Yeah, so if you want to figure out if a place is Southern Chinese, just try to decide if they're speaking Cantonese or Mandarin. So if they're speaking Cantonese, most likely it'll be a Southern style of food. Yeah, you can Google it. It's kind of you know, it's not just Northern and Southern. There's other regions as well in China with different flavors. But the biggest difference, you know, the easiest way to separate them would be the Northern and the Southern. And so Southern style would be Cantonese, Teochew, I think Hokkien. And yeah, so for example, Northern Chinese food, in Northern China, their primary carb is not even rice. Does that sound fucking insane to you? Their primary carb is wheat, not rice, because their climate is not conducive for growing rice. So I'm not a fan of Northern Chinese food because it's way overdone in the US, at least in this region. And I find it kind of bland, honestly. Very bland, very one or two dimensional. It lacks a lot of depth. It relies too much on just chili oil and Sichuan peppercorns. So I'm not a big fan. So Northern Chinese food typically, you know, it's more oily, more salty, spicy, and of course that numbing, that peppercorn thing. So that's pretty much it. Whereas Southern, you have a lighter flavor profile. You have more variety. You have a bit more sweetness. You have a bit more... Basically, you use more ingredients, more fresh ingredients. More emphasis on the flavor of the fresh ingredients. Dota says the weird part about American barbecue is there are so many different styles. Dry rub sauces, tomatoes versus vinegar sauces. Yeah, which is why I don't like the one that I usually come across here in Texas. Well, Vice says, I really like Western Chinese food and Sichuan. See, yeah, Sichuan food is okay to me. I just think it's horribly overrated. I think that most people just, because they don't come across Southern Chinese food as much in North America. So for them, when they think Chinese food, they only think in Northern Chinese food. They only think Sichuan food. Northern Chinese food is just Chinese food in the north part of the menu. Well, Vice says, what are the three races of Malaysia? So there are three main races. Indian, Chinese, and Malay. And then you have they would call Orang Asli, Bumiputra, Aboriginal, the tribal, whatever. First Civ, I guess. Or natives. Yeah, and so the kind of weird thing also about Malaysia is that they are still, the cultures are still, as much as they've matched together, they keep to their traditions really strongly in terms of religion, superstition, tradition, culture. And so, you know, for example, religious holidays are still very much observed and celebrated in Malaysia. So for example, over here in America, you know, when you think, you know, Indian American, the typical Indian family wouldn't care so much about, you know, fucking, you know, piercing their cheeks and skin with needles and stuff for Taipism, whereas in Malaysia, a large portion of Indians still do that. You know, particularly Hindus. And, you know, over here, when you think Chinese, you don't expect to go in their house to see a fucking shrine and joss sticks and, you know, statues of all these different Taoist gods. You don't expect to see that, but in Malaysia you still do. And so yeah, so it's kind of weird where it's all enmeshed, but still very much not integrated. They keep to their separate cultures still. It's just a very different way of coming together. It's a more of a embrace everybody's differences instead of let's all be this. Let's all just get rid of our differences and come together and, you know, be this globalized thing or whatever. Yeah, it's a very, you know, you do you, I'll do me. Which is great for food, because that means there is a lot of, you know, taking inspirations from each other's cultures, but there's still a lot of very, you know, strictly traditional food. They use mandarin oranges and orange chicken, right? Yeah, it's kind of weird how they found a way to grow chickens, you know, in just one color of the light spectrum. You know, most of the time chickens are kind of brown or white, you know, but in China we grow them orange. Cripple says, my wife believes that if you drank cold water that was too cold after working out, you would have a heart attack. Yeah, I mean, sounds like a lot of superstitious parents back home, or grandparents. True Lazy Fart says, I cannot take this chat anymore. Going to drink my water with chia seeds now. Brother Virus says, Jamaican and Trinidad style Chinese food is delicious, better than American Chinese food. I wouldn't know. I've never had Jamaican and Trinidad style Chinese food. Malaysian Chinese food is the fucking bomb. Well, Penang Chinese food. I don't care for the rest of Malaysia as much. So I'm trying to be a bit careful, just trying to, when I solder the switches, I'm checking to see if the bumps in the corner of the switch, so if you look at the underside of your switch, you'll see these two corner bumps over here. You want to make sure these are touching the PCB. You don't want them to be hovering over the PCB. What the hell? Well, speaking of home, when did they fucking change my WhatsApp ringtone? I did not change it. I've never even touched any of the settings in WhatsApp, because I pretty much never use it. Ashar Delon says, keyboards and food are my two favorite hobbies. Yeah, two of my favorite hobbies, that's for sure. I could seriously eat noodles every single day. I can't do that. I'm Asian, Chinese. Can't fucking do that. Gotta have my rice. My younger brother could do it though. He definitely prefers noodles. So my younger brother and my older brother, they prefer noodles to rice. I have always preferred rice. The thing is, with noodles and rice, here's how I look at it. With anything that you can make noodles with, you could also eat it with rice. But you can't eat noodles with everything. It might be a bit weird. But yeah, rice just goes with every fucking thing. Koba says, what messaging app do you usually use? I mean, just Discord, I guess. It's kind of bad. I pretty much pick... You know how they talk about how some people, you know, a few years ago, they would talk about, you know, green versus blue messages, right? So if you have an iOS device, I think your message shows up as green, but if you, on iMessage, but if you have an Android or something, then it shows up as blue, and so people would discriminate based on what device you're using. So for me, it's not intentional, but and I hate to say it, but I found myself kind of discriminating against any of my friends who don't use Discord because I hate all the other messaging apps so fucking much. So it's not so much that I call them idiots or anything like that. It's more just I just find myself replying a lot less and a lot more slowly. The worst ones. People who message on Instagram. Just why? Just keep it to crappy pictures with shitty filters and horrible hashtags. Just that's what Instagram is. That's what I signed up for, not for messages. Jesus. I used to use Facebook messages quite a bit. I'm sure most of us did though. But I hate logging into Facebook, so I haven't kind of stopped doing that. See, okay, the main reason I think I like Discord is because it's the lack of the read or seen notification. You know, the seen at what time, what day, what date. That shit is the cancer of the 21st century. Just people just get so much anxiety from it. I'm like, oh shit. You know, they'll know that I saw the message already, but I haven't replied. And so people are fucking driving and they're responding to messages. They're like, whoa, but, you know, I don't want them to think that, you know, I'm not, I didn't want to reply. Okay, and then so Cripple was talking about, was it Cripple? Yeah, about the prototype boards on Mac Market. No, I haven't seen it yet. Okay, what else are we talking about? Yeah, so my mom called. She, you know, I do this every Friday, and I've been careful to tell her, you know, like, I make sure to remind her every time, you know, what the schedule is. But she still doesn't quite grasp the concept of time zones. It's kind of funny. Happened in college as well, where, you know, when I was taking classes every morning, and my dad would call me when I'm in class. You know, I have the whole fucking day, and I'm up so late at night too that, you know, it's easy for them to call me because it's gonna be the afternoon for them, and, you know, I'm still awake because I go to bed super late, and they won't call me, you know, until I'm actually taking a fucking you know, I'm in class, and then the phone call comes in. And of course, you know, if it's an emergency, sure, that's different, but it's not an emergency, I assure you. Yeah, so I have to tell them, you know, and I always try to tell them, you know, what, you know, all the other times they can call. Oh, okay. And then next week, same thing, you know, they'll call when I'm in the middle of a test or something. VPR says rice in hot weather, noodles in cold weather for me. Yeah, no, I don't keep to that. Cause you can have soup, you can have hot soup with rice in cold weather. Perfect. Red Hawk says he's sick of rice. And Bengali says it's been rice this and that, rice that for 22 fucking years. I can't take it anymore. I'm at the point where I kind of hate rice. That's because you're eating Bengali food though. I always order a side of rice for my Japanese ramen. Hell, brother, you're doing it right. Absolutely. You don't want to feel like you're wasting the soup, the broth. Because you're pretty much paying for that when you go to a good ramen place. So I don't get people who just toss the rest of the broth. I'm like, what the fuck? Get some extra noodles. Get some extra rice. Take it home with you. Do something. Don't toss the broth away. Shadalon says, I broke my hand a week before the Vancouver keyboard meetup. Both hands? I hope your mom can help you out. Okay, so hard to type, but I can't wait to see all the keys. Well, at least it's just one hand, right? So you could still... Well, then you can't jerk off while typing on a nice board anymore. So that's rough, dude. Do you have it in a cast right now? The True Lazy Fart says, I hate Discord so fucking much. I don't know. I mean, I like it for communicating with friends because, yeah, mostly no seen or read at what time. Amazing. Fucking amazing. And, you know, you can edit messages. You can pin messages. Uploading pictures is simple. Coca-Cola says I use Telegram. Damn. Do you use smoke signals too? I actually had Telegram. I think I just deleted it recently. I know in some places it's actually popular, but in the US no one uses it. So I don't know a single person who uses it. The only reason I even installed it was so that I could buy a kin board, I believe. Red Hawk says it's just brown rice for me. Brown rice. See, that's why you hate rice. Brown rice fucking sucks, man. Jasmine rice. Oh, so good. I know it's brown rice is supposed to be better for your health or whatever. You're eating rice. You're eating carbohydrates. Just min-max that shit. Eat less dessert. Drink less sodas. Eat good rice. Don't eat shit rice. Have less rice. Whitey Food says my GF makes this Korean cold noodle dish during summer that's pretty bomb. So yeah, I'm not a fan of cold noodles. I know that's how it's supposed to be prepared, but I just can't do it. Cripple says, somehow I have 2 Prime subs on you and my other one doesn't expire for 2 more days. But my account said Prime was ready already. That is strange. I guess maybe it's trying to be ready for the next one. It's like a... What's the word? Not cooldown. Transition phase, maybe? Trilogy Fart says, broth is the best part. WTF, it makes or breaks the dish. Yeah, but I know people who just toss it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's like eating a hamburger and it's like, you know, making sure to finish the bread and then, you know, I can't finish the rest of this patty. I'm just gonna throw the patty out. NGB, hey, welcome back to the stream. Mouse is fine, yeah, that was the reference, so never mind. Message editing and custom emotes is the reason why Discord is best. The Discord claimed this account, then my login details and it said this account is already claimed. Wait, what? I don't know what that issue is. But if we just ate some calros with bulgogi. Ooh, bulgogi. That's some good stuff. So it's kind of funny. So I was out at dinner with a friend who's Korean. I think we went there. We were building a keyboard. Yeah, so we finished most of the soldering and went out for dinner. And then, yeah, so I was trying to explain the differences between Northern Chinese food and Southern Chinese food. And then so she goes, you know, so I'm trying to think of examples. And then so, but she's also not familiar with Indian food. So like in that example didn't work. And she goes, so kind of like Northern Korean and Southern Korean food, right? I'm like, sort of. But I didn't want to use that example because that's food versus no food. So that's just not a good example. I'm trying to talk about different kinds of food. Not, you know, kimchi versus branches and grass. Basmati? Nah, man. Jasmine rice. I'm just not a fan of long grain rice. But I like it better than Mexican rice. I do not like Mexican rice. Damn. The kind of fat, shorter grains. I don't like it. It's not the way they cook the rice. I'm talking about the actual grains of rice. The worst part is Mexican rice tastes and feels like absolute shit if you even accidentally overcook them a little bit. Oh, this feels nasty. Eating is so complicated nowadays. Is puya. Mouse is fine. It says brown rice is disgusting. If you like it, you're wrong. Sure, Delon says same. Grew up from 10 to 18 in North Vancouver, around a bunch of Iranians. Was blessed with the mountains of basmati and kubide. Ah, bidets are pretty good. Keeps you moist and fresh, ready to go. Shulazy Fire says, so there's a Discord bug where if you don't log in for a while, you need to claim your account. So I do that, but Discord tells me the account is already claimed. It's apparently a long-standing issue with Discord that was never properly fixed. It's all of this. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know because I just stay logged in. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't. No, I'm not familiar with that. Whisper me a tryhard. Good to see you here. How are you? So the nice thing about the Keycult #1 so far, the plate is super straight, very easy to work with actually. So I think it's because of the way it's packed. You know, it's been sitting, what, 9 months in a warehouse in a box. You know, the plates are typically already assembled in the case. I think maybe, I don't know, but they are definitely very straight. So one good thing, one. What food in North Korea? Yikes. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was trying to say, yeah. Cripple says, I sent you some Nito LEDs that would go with Sky Doge. One step closer. Nice, nice. Wait, so you found the correct colors? Oh, is it the right size though? That is the question. I don't know if ever anyone mentioned it to you, but you should definitely only use 1.8 millimeters. So LEDs that look... Yeah, I don't know if anyone mentioned it to you, but you need this LED. The squarish ones, which are the 2x3x4s, are not gonna work without sanding or filing, and then the big 5mm ones, that's just that's just unusable. So hopefully it was shaped and sized like that. Anything else and it'll be a problem with cherry profile Keycaps. That is a long ass link. Yeah, that is 2x3x4, and so if you want to use them, we'll have to file the edges off. I don't know if I have a picture of that, but I'm trying to think of the build that had that. One of the TX boards that I reassembled has that. But yes, it is a no-go. You will have to sand one edge off all the LEDs to make them work. Shoutout says, good thing the LED holes are south-facing. No, it doesn't matter though. Even if it's south-facing, it will still fuck it up. With chair profile caps. I think the home row is the one. It's either row 3 or 4 that still has a problem with 2x3x4s. Zim says, damn. Gox EPBT Kuro Shiro looks good. Just wanted to ask if you unbox it. If I buy it, yeah. And I most likely will buy it. So, if I buy it, I definitely will unbox it. And hopefully this time I'll actually get an escape key in mine. Oh, Zim, yeah, I don't know why it blocked it. I think maybe they thought Gox was a racial slur, maybe? Maybe I think it's Gooks. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know why they... I approved it though. I don't know why they did. Tried to filter it out. True Lazy Fire says, where's the KB hangout on Discord? What you mean on the... What do you mean on Discord? Do you mean on the 001 keyboard server, or do you mean just in general? Usable spacebars. Not just spacebars. The backspace key is really fucked too. Okay, so we're not going to solder any of the stabilized keys yet. We're not going to solder any keys that are not held on all 4 sides by the plate. Because you can see there's a lot of wiggle room, see that? So if I solder them in, they are very likely going to be crooked. And so same thing with these keys. So we're going to just leave them for now. We'll do switch alignment at the end. Gawk. You just need to use 3U spacebars and HHKB backspace. No. Get behind me, devil. You will not tempt me with your unholy layout. Any idea if it will be sold over KBD fans? Yes. It is a project that Gawk is working on with KBD fans. So 100% will be sold on KBD fans. Moonman Tryhard says, the vintage blacks work for hot swapping. Actually, no. Because hot swapping typically does not work very well with desoldered switches because of the leftover solder. You either have to clean them absolutely perfectly, but most of the time, no. All for basically for any use case, no, unfortunately. Yeah, it really sucks, but it's why hot swapping isn't a thing for high-end custom boards. Because you become quite limited in what you can do, actually. Okay, so continue soldering. I was waiting for that, Red Hawk. Look at you, so fast. Who meant try hard? Yes, those are desoldered. Those are desoldered off of new old stock keyboards. Pretty much the only way you can get vintage black switches is from desoldering. Right on the bay. Hey, how's it going? We're working our way. So maybe if you're not going to bed yet, you can actually see this one get done, and we'll see if it's at least fully functional. It should be. It says it's going bad. Everything is shit. Yeah, I'm sure reputation is your number one concern. Oh my god, I'm a terrible comic. But it's okay. I think no one will fault you for it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that roundabout. What has the week looked like to you? So I know it's been looking absolute shit for Sheraton, for basically anyone involved in the Keycult #1 group buy, or not a group buy, sale. So what about you? What if you had to do? You didn't have to do anything, honestly, but I know you felt like you had to. So, you can tell us, I'm sure there were some people who came for your head. I meant, like, not, but, yeah, and I'm sure you got random Discord mentions and stuff like that. So, what has it been like? And again, none of this is your fault. Don't feel like you should be personally responsible for it. But yes, this is God's Keycult #1. Honestly, everyone's been nice to me, says Round the Bay. But I'm just sad that I told people to look forward to this, and it's been pretty butt. I would not call this a pretty butt. I'd call this a pretty ugly butt. Yeah, I guess that's kind of worse, right? So now you feel like you just let everyone down. You can't even just ignore everyone because they're just being hateful or unreasonable. People are actually being nice, and now you just feel terrible. You just feel like you've disappointed people. So I guess on one hand it is nicer that people aren't being mean, but on the other hand it's like that. So of course you're not this lecturer, but it's kind of like when you have a professor or lecturer or teacher that runs the class pretty horribly or is just boring, but is a very nice person, and you find it so hard to hate them. You're just like, fuck, I want to hate you, but you're so nice, and I can't. So I don't mean that you're that person. I just mean that it's that dissonance that sucks. No, see, Roundabout says, he says, so now I'm the professor you want to hate. No, I'm not saying it that way, but damn it. Now you're just making it hard for yourself. And for those of you who don't know, Ryan Debate is the designer of Keycult #1. His group buy was very successful. People are very happy with theirs. This one is not his group buy. He was just, allowing Type Machina to front everything and to sell it, to manage all the logistics and everything. And unfortunately, it's been quite a disappointment, to say the least. And Fun Explorer is here. Hey, how's it going? Fiza says, anyone tried making their own coiled cable before? I have. The thing is, unless you can do the reverse coil, you can Google this. Look up reverse coil cable. Unless you have a way of doing that, I would just recommend you not try. Not even bother. Because if you want to coil your own cable, you need to reverse coil it so that the cable actually keeps its coil and is elastic. Most custom cables you buy are not reverse coiled. Almost all of them are not reverse coiled. So they can stretch out very easily. And honestly, I don't like it. I don't like custom coiled cables that are stretched out. You know, you see a lot of them actually on YouTube and on RMK. You know, for example, I know one guy on YouTube with a custom coiled cable, and holy shit, it just looks like an umbilical cord that hasn't been detached. Oh. Crippled with Twitch Prime. He says, may your boards be strong and hefty. And hopefully with good anodizing. But thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub, Crippled, 2 months in a row. Really appreciate it. We've got so many resubs today. The credit's going to be incredibly long. But yeah, thank you to everybody. The giveaway, I just have been super busy, like I said. So I'm trying to get I'm trying to get most of that, the keyboards done and the schoolwork done. Once I get all that out of the way, then we will look at the giveaway. I'm trying to get at least 5 spots, but maybe we should just do 3. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Round the bases actually have to run. Just wanted to pop in for a second. Good luck with the rest of the build. And I promise that future Keycult stuff will be managed front to back by me and will hopefully meet everyone's expectations. Have a great build, Anthony. Well, thank you so much, Roundabout, for dropping in. Again, sorry it turned out this way. Please don't feel responsible or guilty or anything like that. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay warm if it's been getting colder where you are. And yeah, have a good rest of the weekend. Moonman Try, what's a good top housing to make Zito sound better? Cherry. Fiza says, I wonder if it's possible to just sleeve an already coiled cable. You could try to put Tech Flex over an already coiled cable. It'll be difficult though. I'll pass the feelings on to my wife. She hates the cold. But yeah, see you right on the bay. Fiza says, I see so many power supply cables for my PC, but I don't know how it would work for a USB cable. I probably would also have to redo the plug ends. So USB cables are actually easier to re-sleeve than power supply cables, I would say. But if you want coil, then yeah, you will just have to live with not ever stretching it. And he says Tech Flex helps. And oh yeah, don't fucking stretch it out at all. Yeah, so I have seen some videos where, you know, they're like, where the cable maker, the custom cable maker actually shows you, you know, look at the Tech Flex coiled cable. Look at how I can stretch it and it bounces back. But if you look at it, you know, it's stretched less than 2-3 inches. It's just a tiny little stretch and then just lets go. But trust me, if you just pull it a little more, that shit is gonna get stretched out. Damn it, I'm getting very hungry. I had dinner too early and too little food. Green Savage, welcome to the stream. He says I bought one from Zap Cables. I don't want to pull the coil. Lol. Yeah, don't even try. Fiza says I just want like an old telephone cable tight coil that's sleeved. Can't find them. Yeah, I would say here I personally have almost no interest in sleeved coiled cables. I used to, but for me now it's more of, if I want a coil, then fuck it. I will just go with the full retro look, and I will go all rubber or whatever material. But you know, sleeved cables, I think they look way better when it's not coiled. You know, if you're going with sleeved, you are probably trying to go for that sleek, minimalist 21st century look. It kind of doesn't make sense to add a completely non-functional coil. Valvisor says, I think I prefer magnetic cables from Amazon, easy to plug, replug. It's hard to find mini USB ones though. You can find them in micro, you can find them in, of course you can get an adapter and then you can get a mini to micro adapter and then put the micro end in, but it just doesn't look as good. The only thing that's annoying about magnetic is, yeah, the extra end. Sometimes, well, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, I mean, if I could, I would definitely prefer it magnetic. If all the keyboards would just become Type C, I would just get a bunch of magnetic ends. Especially for someone who unplugs and replugs keyboards a lot, that would be awesome. Valvisor says, my current daily driver is Type C. Actually, I have been typing on a board with Type C for the past couple of weeks. Maybe I should just get a magnetic cable. Oh, Zim, since you're here, I know you were there for the previous Lego build stream and you've asked if I will do another one soon. I have something to show you. Fiza says, I guess I just have to live with a plastic coiled cable. Yeah. You know, when I think coiled cable, I think function. I think I want it to stretch. I want it to, you know, stuff like that. So coiled and sleeves, it's kind of pointless. I saw your pictures of the Lego stuff. Oh yeah, so not just that, but so yeah, that's not mine actually. That was my friends. They brought them to build. They came from out of town. They brought 8 or 9 Ninjago sets to build. But so I just have been too busy. But maybe next weekend I'll do it. Definitely not this weekend. Some of the stuff I just got in. So remember I have the U.S. Capitol building and the old fishing store. But I also got these in from that crazy Barnes and Noble sale. Great Wall of China. So I got this for $50, I think. No, less than that. Yeah. I got one for 50 or 40 something, and then this I say that because I actually got two. So they're designed. See, so you can just attach them. Actually, the whole point of design was so that you could just buy multiple and attach them. See, look at that. So I have two because I bought one at a price I thought was good. I think it was one of those eBay sales, and then Barnes and Noble came in with an even crazier sale, so I felt like I had to buy it. And so I just bought another one. Fuck it. And then I got the Arc de Triomphe as well. And this shit's too fucking big. See, just look at that thing. Look at this set. What a nice Lego set. But yeah, so pretty exciting. See, 1969 pieces. Because, you know, we landed on the moon that year. Or so they say. Actual size. Great Wall of China, is that like the street of all the hookers? We actually did have in Penang that would actually there are at least a couple, but the famous one is Love Lane, and it's called Love Lane exactly because of that. Moonman Try says, you hear about that guy that lost $18,000 worth of Legos from a break-in? Sad shit. So it wasn't so much the money. The main thing that he, you know, you can tell he's upset from is just a collection that he spent, was it 14 years collecting? And some of his own creations. That's, I think, the biggest thing. Like, you know, if it's sets that you can just go out and buy, it doesn't really... Okay, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter as much as something that you spent years creating from scratch. And yeah, I actually just watched that goodbye video just this week, even though it happened last week. I think the saddest part that he hasn't uploaded a new video since, so it's been really sad. Koba says your sweater is trippy in front of the camera. Oh really? Oh yeah, because of the lines and shit. Remember how I used to do that with the kin bags? So now it's doing it with my sweater. Is it still doing it? Oh yeah, it still kind of is. It's kind of crazy. I'm not even high and his sweater is tripping me the fuck out. So Z5 says Lego stream up next. Yeah, not this weekend though. I'm really busy this weekend. But yeah, so we did build the Statue of Liberty Lego sets. It's gotta be at least 2-3 months now on stream, and yeah, so hopefully we'll get to those soon. Sim says super cool stuff. I like the arc a lot. Yeah, okay, so it's just kind of funny because just a few streams ago I mentioned not wanting to buy the Saturn 5 set, even though I'd really like that set, because I'm not a space buff by any means, you know. That's actually one sad part about the education system in Malaysia, is that we learned pretty much nothing about astronomy, absolutely nothing. But of course, you know, no one denies that the Earth is round, right? We know that. But yeah, so it just wasn't really a thing in physics. We just learned all the other things, more practical things. But yeah, so I'm not a astronomy nerd, and so that was kind of the reason why I didn't want to buy it. I was, you know, and then I'm just gonna look like a poser. People are gonna come, oh man, you like space? I'm like, yes, I do actually. I love having space, lots of space, enough space for activities. But you know, by astronomy, I just don't know a whole lot. I'm more of an astrology kind of guy. Typical Cancer thing to say, huh? But no, I just never really grew up with a love for anything outer space, and so I just feel like a poser buying the Saturn V set. But it was a deal I could not refuse. So it retails for 120 bucks. Lately it's gone on sale for 105, which people are like, oh my god, 105, that's a good deal. I bought it for $80 because of that Barnes and Noble sale. So I just have to do it, right? 80 bucks. Do I want a tofu? Do I want an acrylic tofu? Or Saturn V? I want a Saturn V. I want that. I want a big space gray dildo. And I got so I don't think my brother and his wife are watching my stream. I don't think they will. So I got them a Lego Harry Potter Great Hall set for Christmas. Because of the sale too. Because it came out to 70 bucks, I think, instead of 100. No, 65 instead of 100, I think. Like 35% off or something like that. And so after tax it was 70. And yeah, so I got Christmas gifts for them, knocked out, right? Just get them that big thing. They're you know, sister-in-law especially is a huge Harry Potter fan. She's not huge, but she likes Harry Potter a lot. Cripple says, it's an Asian guy with a rocket. Time for Trump to buy you dinner and suck your dick. No, he hates China, though. I think he prefers Saudi Arabia to China. Woman Triad says, yeah, was the fact that someone destroyed his passion so fucked up? Yeah. Like he said, you know, didn't even go for his money or anything like that. Just a Lego. That's just crazy. Round but flat as a pancake. Fiza says, every time I see a Keycap set it's over $100, my feelings get hurt because I'm broke, LMAO. Well, what you do is you use box switches so your keycaps can be broke too. Green Savage says, I'm not a space buff either, but Godspeed is nice. That's different though, right? If I just have a set of Godspeed without any of the novelties or anything, people will just look at it and say, oh, that's a nice color combo. Thanks. But if it's a fucking spaceship, oh, you love science. You're a space guy. I take up a lot of space. That's pretty much it. Red Hawk says, didn't grow up interested in anything outer space. You didn't want aliens to come probe your ass? No, I wanted to probe the aliens' ass, but no, I'm not. Fiza says, honestly, what other rocket would be worth getting if not the rocket that took us to the moon? LMAO. Or so they say. Right, we all know that video is just a Hollywood-made hoax. Right. If there's no gravity, no wind on the moon, no atmosphere, why does the flag wave? Clearly that was shot in Hollywood. The video was made by RTX. Yes. The RTX, see, another, the newest proof we have that the moon landing was just a huge hoax by the US government to scare the Russians. We didn't have NVIDIA RTX cards yet. How was it possible to have that video? How? You can't have a moon landing video if you don't have RTX cards yet. Moses Fine says, have you ever wrapped your hand in toilet paper and caught a poopy on the way down and then took a little nibble? Just use a bidet, man. You don't have to worry about anything like that. NGB says, my daughter is obsessed with Harry Potter right now. She's reading all the books. At least it's not Twilight. At least your daughter's, missed that whole shitty phase a few years ago. That was my time when, I was in middle school and, Twilight was the thing. Man, see, one of my friends in college, so I hope she's not... Okay, so, yeah. Used to play video games, mostly Guild Wars 2 and Borderlands 2 for quite a bit, but, I haven't played much since, because I've been playing Dota. But... this is kind of sad, because, okay, so even in Guild Wars, so all my characters are burger-themed, and, I would buy the most random shit in Guild Wars. Right, I would buy a pet, rock. I would actually spend in-game currency to buy that shit. And then she just didn't think it was funny. She just thought all of it was ugly. And she just took everything so seriously. And I showed her a video of the shitty, what was it? Hold on. Junk rat in... What's that engine called? Unreal Engine 4. There we go. Okay, so it's this thing. Okay, so check this out. Okay, so I sent her that because we used to play Overwatch quite a bit, and then she also was like, "I don't get it." I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean you don't get it? There's no punchline. It's what the fuck are you not getting?" Also, Mr. Horologist, I just saw your host. Thank you. With 33 viewers, welcome one, welcome all. If you haven't already, definitely check out Mr. Horologist's channel. Right? He is the guy to watch on Twitch because he is the guy that does watches. So, please don't forget to check out my friend Mr. Horologist. We've rated and hosted his channel quite a few times already. I think that if you like watches, if you like horology, you like clocks, big black clocks, you like anime, definitely go check out my friend, Mr. Horologist. Yeah, so I've just been binge watching watch reviews on YouTube the past week or two. Just been, you know, looking at watches quite a bit. And yeah, some cool stuff. I is here. How's it going? Who else is here from there? Hey, brother says, I was blown away when my wife told me 50 Shades of Grey was a Twilight fanfiction. Yes, that's the craziest part, right? Who knew cancer could spawn more cancer? Dora the Explorer watch on Amazon. Hey, you kid, but I'm sure eventually that shit is gonna be worth so much. Buy it now. Sell it in 50 years for $60,000. Duty Beer Goggles is also here. Welcome, welcome. They all say Seiko. And Devness is back. How's it going? Angie B says, get a Huawei smartwatch. Lazy Fire says, I need a watch that has a date indicator and is small enough for a tiny ass wrist. I don't know though. The thing about Seiko, I don't really like. So okay, under 100, yes, they do have some good options, but under $200, I think that their options have been kind of stagnant in terms of design, right? Compared to some of the other things that have been popping up. And of course, clearly, I'm not an expert, right? You guys are, not me. But just from what I've been looking, I just don't like a lot of their designs under the $200-300. But if you do like their design, then definitely get a Seiko. Devin says, did I miss anything good? Yes, you missed the Rocket Man. No, for those of you who are just coming in from Mr. Horologist's Twitch channel, we are building a mechanical keyboard, custom mechanical keyboard, and this one is kind of unique in the way the plate is mounted, and you will get to see it shortly. I'd say in about 20-30 minutes we should be able to put it back in the case. Mr. Horologist says best bet is to save so you can get a $300-ish. Because there's a lot of options. And he says, any who have a juicy stream? Oh, I will. I'll catch you at the next anime convention, my good friend. And one last time, don't forget to tune in to watch The Watchmaker. Every time I watch his streams, it makes me feel like a fucking elephant or a walrus. You know, he's doing way more delicate and intricate work than I am. I'm not as used to tiny things. I'll be going as Spike Spiegel. Oh please. We know you actually want to go as hold on. Sasuke. Or are you more of a Kakashi Hatake kind of guy? I'm personally more of a Hitachi kind of guy. Diddy Bear Goggle says, Hark, I spot a Hako. Yes. It's a Hako FX888D. And I also have a Hako FR300 desoldering. So, yes, lots of Hako gear. Fanappy says, Satan board? No, actually. This is a board for God. No, literally, the guy's username on Twitch and everywhere else is God. I'm not even kidding. So, kind of hilarious. Diddy Bear Goggle says, nice, I have the old analog FX888. Went for a Pace SX70 desoldering unit though. Yeah, the FR300 is okay. It's way better than most of everything else at this price range, but just the maintenance and everything, yeah, I should just get a maybe I will, I don't know yet. But if I keep doing keyboard stuff, I definitely will just upgrade and invest in a more modular, more repairable desoldering gun. Fezus is a little slow. He thought I was talking about hard drives. No, I was talking about other hard things. Diddy Bear Goggle says, I got lucky with the Pace. Got it surplus out of university. Nice. Free stuff is always good. Yeah, this thing wasn't cheap. I paid almost $300 for it. That's what the 300 in the name is. And do I recommend it for $300 or $250? I don't. The newer version is out, the 301. That one you can find for around $250. I don't know how much better it is compared to 300. It's just minor increments and improvements. But yeah, I don't know about this. Just so much shit that you have to do to keep it working properly. I love you. You'll have to excuse me. I have taken up a habit of blowing my nose because of the weather change and everything. Mighty Fine Shindig, welcome to the stream, and with the lots of dabs. Dab if you like Keycult. No. But thank you for the resub, 4 months in a row. Oh, it wasn't free? Okay. Diddy Big says, not cheap to get nozzles and such, but very serviceable. Yeah, see, the thing is, yeah, something like that is just, it's just hard to get parts for. It's just harder to repair because it's all integrated into one thing. Yeah, you know, moving forward, I definitely want, you know, the vacuum and everything separate from the sucky suck. So what do you use the desoldering and soldering gear for? And 3D Big also says, yeah, a separate vacuum system is nice, means you get a real tough pump. Yes, instead of this fucking one pump chump. It gets clogged so often too. Wait, Red Hawk says, wait, 10 more feels bad, man. Oh, switches. Oh, so that's what you've been using the uptime for. 55 switches lubed in 3 hours. Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty quick. Unless, of course, you're using just one type of lube, then that's not too fast. Solder sucker up your hole. Man, can you imagine? Just having hot solder splatter on your gonads. Ooh. Cripple says, had muscle spasms, then took the devil's lettuce. Now no more pain. Feels nice, man. Very nice. Meanwhile, I'm here just smoking in flux and lead fumes. 2D Beer Goggles says, I repair audio equipment, mainly guitar, musical amplifiers, electric pianos, everything from surface mount to point tube equipment. Still want to get a stereo microscope though, make that S&D easier. Nice. Do you have a... Fuck, I suddenly can't remember what it's called. Not a heat gun. Hot air solder, hot air rework station. There we go. Yes, Sharehorn. You can read my mind. Yeah, I still don't have one. I mean, I don't really need one, so I just haven't bought one. Tasman Solution says, better than being diced up on a conference room table when you visit an embassy while you're completely conscious, I suspect. Ooh, oh man. That's, yeah, that shit is fucking wild. Yeah, I've been following it this week. Man. The worst part is it looks like the US is not gonna even say anything. That's the worst thing you can do, man. When you go for the journalists. Duty Bear Goggle says, yes, I have an inexpensive Chinese unit, which is usually being used for heat shrink. A nice precision Hako unit I got surplus from a robotics firm. Man, I need to get in touch with all this surplus shit. Need to go hunt for this stuff more often. I want surplus money. Me too, man, me too. Okay, so now we're going to do switch alignment. We're going to use keycaps to straighten these switches so that we don't get them all crooked like that one mirror. Cosman Solution says, I would imagine that there's a lot of surplus equipment from the sheer number of failed startups in Texas, especially Dallas. So I got my Tech 1, a 1012 oscope for cheap. Yeah, but to be fair, I don't need much more soldering gear. The only thing I really need is a better desoldering gun. That's it. Yeah, I don't really want to get anything too expensive for now because I don't know where I'll be in, 6, 8 months, 2 months, who knows. Fume management. So all I have right now is I have a fan that is blowing all the fumes away, and I might end up building. I said this a while back, but yeah, because most of the fume extractors or whatever, at the price range I'm looking at, or under 100, 200 bucks, are fucking shit. They're really loud and just unusable for streaming. But one thing that some people have had success with is just use computer case fans, and you hook it up to a charcoal filter that you replace every so often, and it ends up being cheaper and quieter. New co-host of Top Gun. TDB Girl says, I made my first of an 80mm PC fan. I mounted it to a arm lamp. Yeah, see, so I was thinking because 80mm fans typically are a bit louder because of the smaller size, or at least at the same air movement. So I was thinking, I do have some extra 120mm fans. Just do that. Yeah. 120, 140. I have an extra 120, I believe. Well, at least one. No, I have an extra 140 as well. TD Beer Girl says, I had to have a flexible setup because I'm working so many different styles of chassis. Yeah. For sure, yeah. Instead of just something that's stationary. Synthesizer accordions. Damn. Oh man. Okay, speaking of electric instruments, just this week I watched this video about the attempt at world's fastest violinist. Have you seen that one? It was on an electric viola, I think, not even a violin. It's 5 strings, something like that. But anyway, and holy shit, the attempt was so fucking bad. And he says, I use a KBD fan. Well, look at you. A true connoisseur of fans. Red Hawk says, I've never actually smoked before, but I'm visiting my friend next week in Boston, and I think I'll finally try. Nice. Well, I hope you have a great trip. Ha ha ha. Okay, so what we're doing is we're using GM Keycaps to straighten the switches that You know, normally when you see other people solder these, they're gonna be crooked and tilted and just fucking shit. But that's how most people do it because they don't care. But on here, we care a bit more. So we're using these folded post-it notes and GMK keycaps, which are the straightest keycaps money can buy. So we're putting them together and then to straighten, to hold these switches straight. And then we solder the switches. So you'll see that I put keycaps on these adjacent keycaps switches, so that I'm using the switches that are already straight to help align the switches that we want to solder. Ever consider a innovative PCB holder? Oh. I've considered it, but it's just not going to work very well for what I do. Because most of the soldering involves not just the PCB, it involves the plate as well. And so if you get one of those vices, most of them, they exert too much pressure on just, you know, particular points of the plate. And so you're gonna damage the plate and stuff like that. And a lot of this stuff is quite expensive. Some of it irreplaceable. And so can't do that, fortunately. And because I'm constantly moving stuff, flipping things around, so having anything hold the plate and PCB would just kind of be tedious, honestly. And yeah, so, and as well, just like what Red Hawk says, I have to push down. Right now, not anymore, but yeah, so for most of the first switches that you solder in, the first round of switches that you solder in, you have to push down to make sure that the switches are flush against the plate and PCB, and you actually have to exert quite a bit of force. So yeah, so vices. Anytime I see people solder switches on a keyboard with PCB holders, just what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, so that's why I don't. Although some things definitely for sure it would be useful. LEDs is one thing. Any other components, but switches, stuff like that, you definitely don't want anything to hold this shit for you. I find Shindig, why does the plate have holes? Normally they're called flex cuts to introduce flex. I don't really buy into that very much. But maybe. Who knows? Ventilation. Your keyboard can run at 15 FPS faster. Diddy Goggle says, I only dust mine off and have a PCB that has odd heights on the other side. Yeah, so keyboards are just kind of unnecessary. I still have the holders on my Amazon wish list. But yeah, but I just haven't found a need to buy them. Redog says, I considered a PCB holder as well until I learned from Anthony about keeping them completely flush. Yeah. One thing, unfortunately, is that most other builders don't care about keeping everything flush. So you'll see when they have everything assembled, the plate would be warped, the keycaps would be, the keys would be tilted and stuff. Okay, so it looks like we've got everything soldered in. Just a quick check. And let me see if there are any spots that aren't soldered. Looks good to me, so let's go ahead and plug it in to test it out first. And if everything works, we'll take these keycaps off and then we'll put it back into the case. Okay. So let's fire up switch hitter. We have the PCB plugged in. See the RGBs. Okay. Let's try this out. So I did already test the PCB when we unboxed it. Hopefully all these keys work fine. Mighty Fine Shindig, yes. This is a piece of art from Zhang Tianyu with the heroes that were in Game 5 of TI8 Grand Finals. So you will see the OG heroes over here, as in the team OG, not original generation. And then you have PSG LGD over here, but you'll notice Nature's Prophet is oddly missing on this side. That's because he has sprouted in, teleported in back here behind the enemy team. Kind of a cool detail, I guess. WESG team for Australia looking good. You know what other team is scary? Team Canada. Team Finland, I think, is stacked as shit. You've got Matumba and Thompson. But yeah, Team Australia is pretty it looks surprisingly good this year. Okay, so everything works great. So we can turn the soldering iron off. We'll take these keycaps off. Wow, I am getting very hungry. Very, very hungry. Team NGB. Yeah, no one likes that team though. Everybody says, any fun school stories, Anthony? Group projects or annoying people? So I have been fortunate enough to avoid group projects, but there are still some idiots, of course. I think one thing that was weird kind of recently was, okay, so in customer, I'm in a class about customer relations management and shit like that. And anyway, so the professor had us do an assignment about tattoos and piercings, and you know how it looks for employees and stuff like that. And had students present their case in front of class too. See, here's the thing about tattoos. They're cool, but unless I ask why you got them, or what particular story, unless I ask about them, shut the fuck up. Yeah, so this girl was super excited to present. She talks way too much in that class anyway. Yeah, just yesterday she asked me. So talking about telephone. It was a case study thing about telephone company. And do you consider telephones and cell phones different? Yes. She goes, how are they different? Like, are you fucking stupid? Anyway. So, she says some other stupid shit too. I'll get into it later. But, so she gets really excited to talk about tattoos. And I swear to God, all of these people, they always say, yeah, it's about finding a balance, you know, about where you can tattoo and what you can't tattoo and stuff like that. And it's always very ambiguous, very arbitrary. For some reason, all the tattoos they have are okay and professional. But most of other people's tattoos are in poor taste or whatever. Like, yeah, you know, you have to get tattoos that mean something to you. It's like, maybe they just haven't told you what those tattoos meant, you fucking idiot. Not, you know, you don't have the only tattoos in the whole world that tell a story or whatever. But anyway, so she goes up, tells about, you know, what tattoos are okay, what tattoos are not. And then she goes on to say that she has, I think, 4 or 5 tattoos. And seriously, no one's asking about them. And then she starts telling us all these stories about why she got these tattoos. And the stupidest part is, so she has a tattoo on her back as well. That, I can't believe what it was, but it's just on her back. I can't remember if they were Chinese characters. Probably are, because she looks kind of trashy. But anyway, so she wore a shirt, a top, not a shirt, it's like a blouse or whatever, that, you know, was conveniently cut in the back just so she could show the tattoos. You know how fucking vain a person has to be to think, oh, I'm gonna present today about tattoos, and you know, we hadn't done the presentation yet, so I don't even know how it's supposed to go. I'm gonna wear this particular shirt or top or whatever, just so I can show everyone that back tattoo on my spine and tell everyone about it. And so she turns around in class and then shows everyone, yeah, so this means this, and you know, I got it because this, and blah, blah. It's like, Jesus, no one gives a shit. But anyway. Yeah, so another thing, okay, so we took the keycaps off, let's take the case here, and let's take a decimal as well. Let me look at chat real quick. Cripple says, fuck, I want pizza or something. Yeah, I really want food, damn. Time for chicken wings. Unfortunately, no, because everywhere is closed. It's already midnight. Everything around here closes at this time, so it's kind of sad. Tasman Solutions, the need to be employed sort of puts the kibosh on that tribute forehead swastika favored by Charles Manson. Just make sure that it's straight instead of no. You have to make sure that. Fuck, which one is the Nazi one? Yeah, just make sure it's straight instead of angle at 45 degrees. And then tell people that you're Hindu or something. Or Buddhist. Okay, so we need a desk mat. Let me get the desk mat first. Sharon says tattoos don't need a meaning. God, I hate those tattoos. Shows for that. Yeah, I mean, if it looks fucking cool to you, why not, right? You're like, yeah, you know, you get tattoos that have a meaning, you know. Like, you know, people get tattoos, and then, okay. People get tattoos because they're fucking cool to them. That's it, end of story. Don't give me all this shit about, yeah, you know, companies should, you know, they shouldn't fire anyone for tattoos because, you know, it means something to them, and people have the right to, you know, have tattoos and to have something to share their story. Like, are you for real? And then, you know, people are like, yeah, you know, I get tattoos so that I can remember these things. You understand we're in a digital age, right? You want to never forget something? Post it on the internet. You will never forget it. No one will forget it. That is the tattoo that you need. You want to remember a relationship forever? Post a video on some revenge porn sites. You know, you remember it. Everybody will. But anyway. How about tattoos? Yeah, so it was just kind of weird because, well, I wouldn't say weird, but I was just so dumb that those with tattoos were also judging other people with tattoos and about how, yeah, you know, those tattoos just don't look professional. I'm like, shut the fuck up, okay? They can get what they want. If unfortunately, if it means they get fired from their jobs, or they can't work for the company, whatever, you know, like, yeah, it kind of sucks. But don't be kind of like, yeah, this is a poor choice. Like, they can do what makes them happy, okay? Your tattoos don't look nice either, so shut up. And I don't mean you. I meant those people in my class. But yeah, and then so. Yesterday it was a case about, you know, oh, imagine you're a manager at this telephone company and there's a customer that hasn't been paying her bills and you are calling to tell her that you are going to cut and terminate the service because she has failed to pay for so and so, you know, how many months in a row, and blah blah blah, and she gets upset and says, oh well, you know, I can't even afford to eat out or something like that, and it's unfair that the price is so high, blah blah blah, whatever, right? Typical hypothetical situation. And this same girl goes on talk about, yeah, you know, you shouldn't be eating out anyway. You know, everyone should just eat at home and save money. Okay, the stupidest thing about people who say that shit, about how you shouldn't eat out. She works at a fucking restaurant. If nobody eats out, you don't get to eat, you fucking idiot. But yeah, anyway, so she goes about, yeah, you know, if you can't, you know, if you're struggling financially, you just shouldn't even be eating out. And then so, how to say, you'd understand that some people work 2-3 jobs and they just don't have time to fucking cook, right? How is that such a hard concept? And she was also talking, yeah, so she was just being judgmental. Yeah, people shouldn't. And then the professor also asked, you know, about, you know, what about, you know, should people working for a minimum wage, you know, should we expect the same level of service as, you know, someone who's paid better wages and stuff like that? And, you know, is it really their fault if, you know, they're just being paid shit? And, you know, most waiters are paid even less. Some places pay really poorly, or just minimum wage. And then so you would think, you know, it's in a college class, and a lot of them are working part-time or full-time or whatever, and most of them are working minimum wage jobs, that they would be a bit more sympathetic. Like, no, it should just not be acceptable. You know, it's a job. You know, everybody should. You know, there's no excuse. You know, you should always be giving 110% of your job. You fucking idiot. And yeah, she goes on to defend and talk about, you know, how great her company is. You know, even though she's paying less than minimum wage because she's a waiter, she's getting paid. I think typically it's like 2-3 something an hour before tips. Just being in general, just very, you know, just a severe lack of empathy. And then it's like, damn, dude, why are you sucking the corporation's dick? You're struggling to pay your bills. Just I don't get where this you know, like, oh yeah, I love my job. I can't even pay for my car, but I love my job. Everybody should just, yeah, just. And the professor wasn't even saying like, oh, should you expect poor service? It wasn't even like that. It's like, you know, it's more of just, is it a surprise if, you know, you go to some place and, you know, they're paid really poorly and you get terrible service? You know, do you think that service would be better if they're paid more? Something like that. No, you know, everybody should love their jobs. You know, like, and she goes, you know, I'm getting paid like this little, and I love my job. You know, I give all. I'm like, this is why you struggle. You know, like, what the fuck? You're in Texas, get a branding instead. Anthony sounds like an old man complaining about young kids these days. Man, it's so strange actually that people would ask me. People immediately know how that I don't belong. They would ask me how old I am. It's like, I'm not even that much older, but it's one of the first questions they ask me. Oh, how old are you? Nobody should go to school. Chokan is still here. Can't even go to a lot of pools or gyms here if you have a tattoo showing. Wait, really? In Japan? Nice sort of Hawaiian shorts? Yes! Amazing, isn't it? This is the new look. Tasman Solution says, I just imagine some 85-year-old grandma in emergency room being rolled over to reveal I'm a little bitch. Tramp stamp years from now. Or juicy. Gizmoplex, hey, how are you doing? Is this really how this goes? Talked, or is this how you did your presentation? Man, just... That shit just drives me up a wall. Sharon says also nobody cares anymore. The stigma is gone as long as they're not on the face, hands. So, interestingly enough, I think about 10 years ago, 2008, 40 Americans had tattoos. So, and that number has only gone up. So definitely at least half of everyone has a tattoo. So if you have a tattoo, you're not special. Shut the fuck up. If you don't have a tattoo, you're also not special. Shut the fuck up. Everybody says Anthony, what on earth class was this? So like I said, it's a customer relationship management. So like customer service kind of stuff. Kind of marketing class. Sharon says it's also hard as fuck cooking for one on a budget. Yes. The time when you're cooking for 2 people, it makes perfect sense. 1 person, you actually end up wasting. Vegetables, for example, is one thing that I hate, because especially over here, you can't buy them in just the amount you need most of the time. They come in just bags and shit, and it goes to waste. It goes bad pretty fast. And then what was I trying to say? Yeah, just cooking for 1 person. The time just makes so little sense for most people. Tasman Solution says, Anthony, tone it down. The official is referring to this stream. In court, if that girl you're speaking about goes missing. Nah, she won't go missing. She has 5 tattoos. You can find her for sure. What are you talking about? She sounds like a bootlicker. I'm guessing she's not a candidate for Mensa, the Nobel Prize. Everybody says, I love these stories with the angry. Sounds like some very educational lectures. That's why I hate classes where they have students do presentations and shit. You don't learn anything. Probably just looking at my D. Am I special if I'm having a mechanical keyboard? Yes, but not the good kind of special. Chokan, do you have a tattoo? I sure hope you do. You've always looked like a badass to me. So you mean I have extra chromosome? Yes. An extra X chromosome. Okay, so we've got the keyboard assembled. Of course, anodizing issues abound. Look at that. Oh my god, look at that custom finish. Mr. Worldwide tattooed across his shoulders. Not Negative says, why the fuck do I need to pay Streamlabs $6? No, you don't have to actually. If you want to donate, I believe the way it's done is, if you want to donate with a custom GIF or GIF, whatever you want to call it, then you can pay $6 to do a premium subscription to Streamlabs or whatever. But if you just use their standard donation notification, then it doesn't matter. And you don't need to pay extra to do it. Yeah, so maybe that's what. Maybe you're trying to put a custom GIF and they were trying to charge you for it. Truckin says, I am far too boring for that. No, don't have a tattoo. I think my ear pierced when I was at university. Oh man, look at you, so hardcore. Yeah, I am clean as a whistle. I do have one on my clit, but that's about it. You know, you can't see it. Okay, let's get keycaps to over here. Put on the board. Hey Anthony, if I'm soldering PCB mount no plate, do I really have to push down? I mean, as long with PCB mount, if this switches, if you just push it in and it switches a flush against the PCB, you can see it when you're fucking pushing it in. If they're flush, you don't have to really push down anymore, because they're not really gonna fall or anything. So as long as when you're pushing them in, they're flush, you should be fine.
Money!
Not negative with the $6 donation. Thank you so much. So the amount that Streamlabs is trying to fucking extort. Yeah, so thank you very much. First donation of the day, actually. Pieces? No, I have not bought Deathmatch from Etsy before. I think I'd be kind of wary of buying Deathmatch from most places, because the Deathmatch they use probably aren't going to be that great. Even the Novel Keys Deathmatch, you know, they're nice and thick, but I don't like the texture and the printing. I still don't really like. Fisa says, what's even the advantage of, yeah, just a plateless build, right? Over a normal build. So, plateless, pretty much the main benefits. The two benefits, I'd say. The main one for sure. The reason why most people do it. Well, three benefits. Main one people do it. They feel so fucking good. So, it gives you more flex. So, typing just feels nice. It's kind of nice, cushiony. It's not as jarring, not as harsh on the fingers. I love it. Especially for tactile switches. So much so that I just really don't want to build anything that has a plate with tactile switches. Tasman Solutions says he's cranky because he's needing some food while trying to complete the build. Nah, it's... You probably just haven't seen a lot of streams. Why do you think the... Why do you think... This, oh, whoops, I can't even fucking type. This exists. What do you think? Yeah, that emote exists. Whiterun asks, what keycaps are these? What are those? These are OG cherry die subs. So they sound and feel very nice. Hard to find, expensive. Stepped caps lock, a man of culture. Well, I mean, you have to, because OG die subs all come with the stepped caps lock. Because caps lock used to just work as caps lock. And the reason it's stepped is so that you don't accidentally hit it. That is the reason why the caps lock key is stepped and shaped so weirdly. And so if you are using it as a control key, as a function key, it makes absolutely zero sense to go for stepped caps lock other than aesthetics. And even then, it looks dumb to me. But again, if you're using it because your keycap set restricts you to do it, and you have to use stepped caps, then that's understandable. A lot of people like stepped caps lock. I personally don't, only because I use my function key over here. So it just doesn't make sense. So even if it looks retro, I tend to prefer function over form. If it's a design decision that doesn't make sense, that goes against the function, then I don't like it. Yeah, so when it's stepped, my pinky actually ends up hitting the step, so that's why I don't like it. Everybody, yes, you're absolutely correct. That's where the OG subs come from. Old boards. Shoutout says, JMK Handerbait group buy is live. Yeah, so it's live, everybody. Better go get it. It is a very sought. It's going to be a very sought after set, I believe. Shizzy Fart says, part of me, I'm so conflicted. Part of me wants to buy it, the other part is cringing. Or you could, enjoy PBT white, black on white, and go crazy with dyeing it yourself. And then you can have an even better rainbow set. Byron, yes, NCR. Yes, yes. Oh, what did I say? The fan on. Don't need that. This key set plus keyboard, do I shoot the... Let me go get a bit of tea before we do the typing test. Oh, that's way too dark. Alright. So, this is the keyboard that we have built today. It is the Keycult number 1. And the thing that's special about this board is the way the plate mounts into the case. If you are curious, definitely check out the unboxing to see how it all goes together. And it has these these rubber pieces under the top that seal that connection between the plate and basically a sandwich. And then it's like using melted cheese to seal 2 pieces of bread together in a perfectly grilled sandwich. Or grilled cheese. Perfectly in a perfect, grilled cheese sandwich. Anyway. So that's the unique part about this. Also the weight cutout is kind of cool. So this piece over here, this purple thing you see here, is connected to this part. So it's a huge mid piece that goes in and then sticks out over here too. So some options you can get it in brass, which I think is cool. This one is all aluminum. It's just for the different colors. But yeah, so again, look at all the anodizing really bad. If you want a closer look, definitely check out the unboxing video. It should be up on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so finish is definitely bad because it looks like someone finished on it. And it's the reason for a lot of returns, refunds, cancellations that's going on right now with this board. But my friend got that, the person I'm building this board for said that he's just kind of tired of waiting and he just wants to try it out. So he says he's just going to keep it this way. And so here we are. And so we assembled it with vintage black switches, vintage cherry MX black switches. They're lubed the Korean or the God style of lubing instead of the unfortunately more popular Cumbox kind of lube where everything's very sticky. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this thing out. Plug it in. Her brother says sometimes I do this on my keyboards at work when nobody's looking. Oh, you do the little test. Cripple says Handerbite is ugly as fuck. I am not a fan of it, but I know that some people like it. I don't know why, but preferences are a hell of a drug. Tasman Solution says, sounds pretty good to me. Yes. Okay, so let's try it out. Bring up Notepad. All right, so that was the board. Again, lubed vintage black switches on a Keycult number 1. Now negative, these are NCR OG die subs. Yes. So yeah, it's got that very smooth, some would say silky, I would say oily. I don't really like it. And Alex with the hashtag notification gang. Yes, very early indeed. You're on time. And dear Moogle 2, welcome to the stream. And yes, Moonman Tryhard. He is that guy from the YouTubes. He hangs out here pretty often though. And good time to plug his link again if anyone has not checked out Shokan's YouTube channel. Please subscribe. He pays me ad money, so definitely subscribe. So yeah, so anything else about this keyboard that you guys are interested in? So yeah, so finish. Unfortunately, I don't foresee building too many of these, honestly. I will unbox a black and silver version of this on Monday. So keep an eye out for that. So yeah, we're unboxing that. We're unboxing a KVD8X as well. And what else are we unboxing? So definitely those two for sure. I don't know About anything else? Oh, we can weigh this thing too. Well, I did that already, I guess, with the previous build. This is with an aluminum plate. I think that's important. I didn't mention it, but yeah, aluminum plate instead of brass plate. Redox says, the feeling Lubing finished building a board in time it took. Wait, you actually finished building it as well? What the fuck? Well, I was lubing as well. I was lubing the eardrums of these 40 people watching this channel right now with the sweet succulent sound of my voice. No plate alignment. Oh wait, what are you building? PCB mount? A poop beer. And Clax, goddamn, I'm living the dream. We tune in to hear stories about the grill at school. Yeah, she is. Not negative says, yes, looks really beige on my screen. No. Not negative. That's not on you. It actually is very, very beige. Let me show you. Okay, so compared to Enjoy PBT, Gateron, dye subs, beige dye subs, not negative. Look at this. Look at that. This looks almost white compared to that. And I can even bring in a white key. Hold on. Look at that. Oh, whoops, that's... I'm putting that beside the dark color. Doesn't matter, right? Monkey spittle, yes. This is very beige. Very, very beige. Almost like a khaki color, I'd say. Does it give you beige balls? The case is kind of a greenish gray. That amount of beige makes me nut. Yeah, I like it too. I like it either you go this beige or white. The in between is just, it's just so overdone. I hate it now. Just keep this plugged in. I don't know why I unplugged it. Greenish beige. No, not khaki. I'd say khaki. I mean, according to Google as well, it's a brownish yellow. Kind of sucks. I can't really wear khaki pants. I can't wear a lot of brown stuff because I'm pretty... My skin is... What am I doing? Alright, so I recently bought a pair of khakis. I was like, oh, you know, I should finally get some khakis, right? It's like the mainstay of the men's wardrobe. So, decided to get it. I just looked like I wasn't wearing any fucking pants. So, just returned it. How does the board taste? Would you like me to lick the white stuff off? And Talisman Solution says, I lived through the entire 80s beige period. Oh yeah, see, I don't get why people are looking back in nostalgia. I think that was... There are some things that are nice and beige. Electronics, not one of them. Okay, so let me know if you have any other questions, concerns before we end the stream. I'm gonna look for someone to raid on Twitch. Let's see who is live right now. So Set to Build is streaming. I could join him. He is building some Lego, so definitely join him. Monkey Spittle says, I'm so pale I'm overwhelmed by stronger colors. He says, actually there were great keyboards back then, but in an expensive bracket. Like Sun SGI, really colorful. Yeah. Yeah, I am. So I can't even, like, a lot, like, you know, watches as well. A lot of watch bands. I have to be careful. Clothes, same thing. Because, yeah, I might just end up looking naked or something. And yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Let me roll the credits first. Hold on, and then we'll find someone to raid. Let me roll the credits. But yeah, Talisman Solutions, he says, as always, thanks for the great build stream on a Friday night. No problem, thanks for tuning in. And everybody says, peace out. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you who tuned in today. Thank you so much for the donations as well. Not negative. The only donation today, $6. Thank you. Cheers. 200 bits from NGB. Don't know where he is right now. Is he still here? He was studying and he went out for Get Wings. Followers, Ikikoroboros and Fnappy or Fnappy. And then the host, Mr. Horologist. And the Footlong Sub Club with the resubs, new subs, gift subs. Let me... There were a lot of them. I missed half of them. And the screen is kind of hard to read because it's in gray. And everything is gray over here. I put my fucking... Chokan with 100 bits. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see if this helps a bit. Okay. This makes it so much more legible. Come on. Yeah, new followers. Automation Jason as well. I. Okay, so the resubs and new subs: Deagle, Thick Boy, Red Hawk, Deadwing Dick, Purple 710, not negative, who also donated. The True Lazy Fart, Mouse is Fine, Panna Water, I Eat Beans. I actually don't really like eating most. At least over here, beans here. Okay, Striker, Crippled, Mighty Fine Shindig. Yep, thank you. And then so we're gonna raid Set to Build. He's doing some Lego builds right now, pretty cool. He's apparently building 1 year sub scenes and follower minifigures. So yeah, so he builds custom minifigures for followers. So pretty cool stuff. So I will send you guys his way. Feel free to stay if you want to stay, or have a great rest of the night. Mr. Cock, or Kokyu, thank you for the thumbs up. I really appreciate you tuning in today. Yeah, so we're gonna go there, and I will probably be there for just a minute, maybe less than a minute. I have to find food. I'm very hungry. This beautiful keyboard. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, so hold on, did the raid work? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. See you, Red Hawk. Yeah, see you, everyone else. Tasman Solutions, Monkey Spittle, Ikikoroboros, Tier Moogle 2, It's Undone, Hamburger, Tasman Solutions. Thank you, everybody. And Mr. Cock.